Mink and Grey Bird, a Tla'amin nation story. Illustrations by Scott Gallegos. Narrated by Terry May Gallegos. This book is dedicated to the elders of the Tla'amin nation in the hope that the children will remember their stories. A special thanks to the Mitchell family. There was a young man who lived by the river with his grandmother. He was Mink. Mink was a very proud fellow. All day long he walked up and down the river, jumping on the rocks and showing off his muscles. On the other side of the river lived another young man. He was Little Grey Bird. He was smaller than Mink and spent most of his time sitting on the bank of the river fishing. He never bothered anyone. One day, Mink went to see Grey Bird and challenged him to a wrestling match. Mink returned home and went to see his grandmother, who was always sitting by the fire. He told her about the challenge. Mink then went and got a pot and filled it with powdery ash. He turned to his grandmother and said, "When we wrestle and you see me pin the bird to the ground, I want you to pour these ashes on him." Mink's grandmother agreed. As soon as Grey Bird came over, the fight was on. As the fight went on, dust rose higher and higher, covering the two combatants, so that the grandmother could not distinguish the two. Finally, after some time, she saw that one of the fighters was pinned to the ground. She jumped up as fast as she could and dumped the pot of ashes on the pinned man. It took some time before the dust settled. When she looked down at the figure on the ground, she was surprised to see it was her own grandson. Mink got up off the ground and spat out some ash. He was very angry. He couldn't believe what had happened. How could that little bird beat Mink? Mink figured he had been tricked. There was no way anyone could beat him. He left right away to bathe. Mink told himself that his grandmother and Grey Bird were trying to fool him. But he knew he was lying to himself.